Good afternoon. Time to put in some work. This is a seagull. Its wing, its whole neck. This is a wooden bird totem, but he's a lot of other things too. I started to look at him and realized he is an extremely complicated, multifaceted piece of art. And I also found out there's an eye right there and a face. Woo-wee! Look at that one. Eye, nose, and the mouth right there. There's going to be so much on this. So what I found out, guys, by looking at some of the earlier videos, you can see the eye carved in there pretty definitively. What I found out is that the clay that is on these wooden totems also represents, oh my God, it's not just the face, it's got like a whole headgear. Ooh, sick. Look at that. So, sorry. The thing is, the clay represents part of this statue as well. So when I was in the last video for the researchers, archaeologists, and curious, I watched that as well. You know, I watched the videos with you guys. And this thing just sits up like that. And so the clay, I realize I'm picking off the clay like from the sticks. And the clay is actually the bird. So the whole bird is made upon a stick, and then and it's made to look like a bird, and then I'm picking off the clay so you can't see the bird anymore. This is a bird man. This is a bird human, or that big beak. You guys have seen that in archaeological videos. There's Native American tribes that make recreations of this large beak now, still today. Of course, he's best looked at from the side. You can see his eye still. So it's a clay head. It's going to be so much on this, but this is just one of the images. You can see different eyes carved in. There's going to be a couple different ones. This is one right here. You can see how it around, and then the pupil of the eye there. Sorry, it's bouncing around a little bit, but see, like this clay, I was just picking that stuff off. It's not really to be picked off. It's part of the statue. So you know how we do? Full bird on one side. Oh, this is costing me, guys. You see what's happening? It's not costing me, it's costing us. It's a full bird on one side, a full bird head on the other, and that's what we're seeing here, probably. Do a upside down. Oh, wow. Oh, yes. So, look at this big eye in here. What do you guys see here? Wow. So you guys know about Cahokia. You guys know about the Birdman of Cahokia, I'm sure, if you're into this kind of stuff. You see how you got different eyes. You got one eye here, one eye here, one eye here. That's so that you can tilt it. So we're going to try that right now. So you see that one eye at the very front, the front eye. Right? Now we're going to tilt him. You're going to see different eye. Wow, look at this stuff on here, guys. So that big bird head for the other side. But see how you can cover and hide all of that. There's going to be different types of birds. Let's go ahead and oof. Okay. So, you see this right side profile. Tilt it even further, get a different type of headdress person. Oh. See how the top of the headdress is turning into like a bird? So we're looking at the brown section, or the darker section, as a face. Recessed down inside there. There goes one more. This is like an exaggerated version of the lithic arts. You can see how the eye pokes out a little bit in the nose. Wow. Ooh-wee. This is amazing, guys. So you might not be able to see it in the lithic art, but perhaps you can see it on the wooden totems. These are images of human beings with headdresses and their faces, and a lot of it is not just abstract. It's actually extremely detailed once we learn this style of art. Look at this. See the big round carved in eye of like this creature with like a horn? Whoa, dude. Are you joking me? There's going to be lots of different ones. And then upside down and sideways is going to be different things too. I wonder what this little squiggly is going to do. You can see that giant piece of wood that represents a pupil, like, or clay or whatever, that darker section. I'll put it right in the middle of the screen. Keep an eye on that for an eye. Look at this thing. What kind of character is that? Whoa, man. This is really neat. That's the woman with the hair. Ignoring the back portrait, just looking at the front one there. The top of their head is the hair. And their face is just recessed inside there. You can hide the eye, poke the eye back out, hide the eye, poke it back out. Just winking at you. You see her? Sorry, the lighting isn't super perfect. You guys are seeing what's going on here though. It's pretty amazing. This one might have a full body of a person, like with a bird person maybe. You see the shoulder and everything coming out. Just like we do with this bird with the neck. See how the neck is curved and everything? See the curve of it, the wings coming out, the paint and everything still on this. So this thing deserved a little bit of time, guys. I'm glad you were able to stick around for it. As a quick bonus, we'll go ahead and go through 2 of these real fast. These are gateway style pieces. These are yellow pieces of quartz that are painted. And many different profile images on them. You can see how this portion will represent a neck, and then we're gonna see how it looks wild, right? It looks really weird. Well, that's because there's a portrait on the top, and then as we tilt it, watch what happens. It's gonna turn into an accurate portrait. Do you see how that happened? It's all crazy here. You got another portrait coming out the top. See this portrait? There's just a portrait on this section right here. You can take a look at that if you want to. That's going to be a smaller one, so it's going to be a little more complicated. But you can see how it will resemble a portrait as you twist it and turn it different ways. Those lips come out real big. Just looking at the edge. Now let's look at the whole stone. Let's give it a good tilt. Let's get that face out of there, that other face, and let's put this main face in there with this long nose we can see sticking out and these lips. Let's make a face. You see how that little sand speck still is in the pupil there? That white spot. There's another portrait of a person. I'm gonna twist it and tilt it to get it just right. We might have a little bit of an open mouth there. And you can see the neck and everything else, right? So we can get into some of the characters here. It's gonna be characters on the edges with like super long headdresses. You can see how it's kind of square and blocky. There's gonna be a face just in the white image here. So looking at the color now, you see an eye, a nose, and a mouth with a hat. Take a look at that. If I can keep it focused for us. I'm gonna try to mess with this light a little bit. You can see him in there faintly, right guys? I mean, he's more of a surface image, just looking at the yellow, his eye, his nose. He's very faint for me as well, because we don't have the lighting exactly correct. You see how this little knob sticks out? That's gonna be a nose, and so when you tilt it, I wish I could get our lighting just a little bit better. Let's look for some more easier images. This is a big bird head. You see how his crest and the lines in the crest, that's his eye and his beak. And you see how he's got this jut, right? Take to that where that jut's gone. See you, jut. Bye-bye. And then you got your bird head. Might even have, like, you can poke out different things from there, but this is how this art is to be looked at from like the edges. Just looking at the colors sometimes, just looking at the shadows and the definition. You can see the pupil coming out there. You see how the shadow, there's another eye up there. Several different eyes. It's a very complicated, complex, multifaceted style of art. It doesn't just pop out of nowhere. It really doesn't. To get into some of these higher level stones, you have to learn the art. But understand that humans have been around for thousands upon thousands of years, and we know 10% of our history, so we don't know everything, and we don't know a lot apparently. So keep an open mind. Keep an open mind is all I ask. There's a lot on these guys too, so like long heads, think like totem heads, like Easter Island, right? You know, you got your eye and your nose and your lips coming through here. Like a kind of an exaggerated head. You actually got a carved in eye with lashes and stuff right there. So when we tilt it for just that image, you might see him a little easier, little characters. See all the little carvings and things on this stone. This is a skill that strengthens and wanes. It can be very strong at one point, like when you're really into it and when you've been studying the art, and then if you give it a break for a minute, it'll wane. I've seen the cycle go through members of our rock art community. I've seen people that just began to start to see it. It is kind of an intense experience when you finally start to realize how long your human history goes back, how long we've been around, and how everything that we are today really is to thank for the people who survived and created this type of art. The reason why we're intelligent, the reason why we've become who we are, is because we learned before books, before writing, how to make this incredibly complicated, multifaceted art, which allowed other people to learn. I'm learning from this. You guys are learning from this. And this is how they propagated people's brain cells to start firing away. I mean, I think that this has something to do with the birth of our consciousness. And for that reason, I believe it's very important. So there's a lot more to go through, guys.